What's going on, fellow hunters? Welcome back to the channel. So I want to make a video today because I get this question all the time, and it's how do I one stick up a tree? Right, so I've been avoiding the how to one stick video for a long time just because for one, we all do it a little bit differently, and two, I wanted to be 100% confident in my skills and abilities and the ability to teach somebody how to one stick. So I'm actually going to show you with my bow, with my pack. Really the only thing I'm missing is I won't have my camera gear in the bag, and then I don't have any like food on me. So other than that, this is like pretty much how you would one stick with your gear. And like I said, we do this, everybody does this a little bit different. So this isn't necessarily a gear video, it's a concept video. How do you get up the tree with one climbing stick? If you are interested, in the description box below, I'll put a list of all the gear that I use and where I got it from. As you can tell, I'm wearing orange. It is Indiana's muzzleloader season, and I am on a piece of public. So for probably legality reasons and safety reasons, I'm wearing orange. I don't feel like getting shot today. So I'm on my way in to film this video, and I come across this scrape. So there's the scrape. It's got poop and everything in it. There's a fresh scrape right here with poop and everything in it. So we'll go ahead and mark that on OnX. Go ahead and film this video. So the only thing I don't have in my pack is my camera and any kind of food that I would bring while hunting. In a hunting scenario, this is exactly how I'm going to enter the woods. I've got my bow, and I've got my backpack with my one stick attached to it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick a tree, and I'm going to show you how to one stick up the tree. Alright, so at some point I'm going to end up leaving the frame, and I have a GoPro. So at the point that I leave the frame, I can go ahead and attach it to my hat, so that way you can kind of see in a first-person view what I've got going on as I'm going up the tree. So essentially this is how I would show up for a hunt. I've got my bow in one hand, and I've got my pack on my back. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bow, and I'm going to set it on the ground out of the way. Once I've got my bow on the ground, I'll go ahead and take my pack off and set it on the ground. So in order to get my bow up the tree with me, what I do is I take this 40 foot of Dynaglide throw line, and I attach one side to the bow, and I drop that on the ground, and I take the other side and I attach it somewhere on my saddle. So just for now, I'm going to go ahead and attach it right here. And then once I get to the top, I'll just pull it up to me. So other than that, the only thing I've got to do is I've got to get my stick, put it on the tree, and climb. Take my stick off my pack. Start out, I just kind of push my chest on the stick, and then I go ahead and I throw this around. So then from there, kind of just get your stick up as high as you can. And set the stick. Okay, so at that point, that is getting close to about 6.5 foot. So as far as things that there's no real necessity. There's a lot of different ways that you can do this, but the things that you're definitely going to want, right? You're going to want to stick with a cam cleat. You're going to want a multi-step aider. So the amount of steps and the step spacing and stuff like that, that's all up to you. And then you're definitely you're gonna want to rappel down. All right, so one sticking down a tree is an absolute nightmare. So my aider's all twisted up and crazy, but it is what it is. So once I've got my stick on the tree, I can go ahead and grab my backpack and put it back on. Some people like to leave it on the ground and pull it up with their rappel rope. You can do it like that. You know what I mean? It's completely up to you. I like to go ahead and just climb with mine, because at this point the only thing in it is my camera gear and a call and a rangefinder. It's very important anytime. So force safety is very important. It's very important anytime you leave the ground, but it's very, very important, especially with this style of climbing. So what I like to do is I like to attach at ground level, so that way if I fall, I'll never hit the ground. So what I like to do is go ahead and throw my rope around the tree and then whip it up. Once I've got it whipped up and around the platform, I go ahead and I attach it from here. And then I cinch it down and take the slack out. So also, if I set my stick a little too high, it also helps me get my foot up in there, because I pull a little bit of slack out as I go up. Okay. Get my GoPro ready for when I leave the frame, and that way I'll show you what we got going on. So every time when you climb an aider, always remember to go toe to tree. That way you don't have any kind of kick out. So as you climb, the most dangerous part of this style of climbing is the introduction of slack into the system. There's a lot of different ways that you can climb and use a no slack system, and of course that's always preferable. But I'm going to show you kind of the ways that I manage slack to the best of my ability. Always climb with a lineman's belt if that's what you want to do. I only ever use it for rope transfer around limbs, so I'll kind of show you what I do. So as you're climbing up, I like to just grab the back of the tree. Kind of the smaller the tree, the better, just because you have a little more body control if you can get all the way around the tree. As soon as I get my foot onto the bottom step of the stick, that's where I'm the most stable. So that's when I start to move my rope. So I just kind of loosen my rope. At this point, I almost use it as a lineman's belt. So I grab the back of the rope, and this helps keep me stable. There are a couple things you got to be careful with. If you slip and fall, you don't want to end up with your fingers inside of your rope. So that is one of the downfalls of doing what I'm doing. So just be aware that is a possibility that could happen. But this is how I keep myself stable. And I go ahead and I go up. So this tree has a funky limb. Okay, so this tree has a couple limbs that we're going to need to get around, one of which is down here, and I could just kind of slide over it, but I want to show you how to get around the limb. So I have my lineman's belt on my side. Okay, so once you've got your lineman's belt on, you can go ahead and detach your main line from the tree. And then you can go around the limb, come back and reattach. and then you can continue to climb. So at this point, what you want to do is you want to get your rope as high as you possibly can. Okay, so at one point somebody kind of described this, and I really like this explanation, as leapfrogging your climbing stick. And that's kind of the best way to explain this. So what I've got to do now is I've got to get my climbing stick and I've got to bring it up here. So there's a bunch of different ways you can do this. Some people like to swing off to the side and bring their stick up. I find it easier just to go ahead and wrap my legs around the tree, go ahead and grab my stick. So I grab my stick, take it off the tree, and come up. So here, you just want to get it as high as you possibly can without going over your tether or getting any of your other kind of ropes or anything behind it. So put the stick on the tree and set it. Go ahead and pull that up and out of the way. Get your foot in the aider and go ahead and climb. So then this is where that slack introduction is. So this is the part where you got to be careful. So just make sure you're balanced on the tree. Get your foot up on the bottom. And this is where, like I said, I like to use a rope almost kind of like a lineman's rope. So now I got another limb that I have to go around. Lineman's belt on. Okay. Once your lineman's belt is on, you can then disconnect your main line from the tree. Make sure I'm recording. Go around your limb. Reconnect your main line. Take some of the slack out of that. Loosen your lineman's belt. And now you're around that limb. All right, go ahead and climb up. And get your tether rope as high as you can. Go ahead and take some slack out. Go ahead and lean back into your system. Now at the point that you go to grab your stick, or you're not really holding yourself up in any way, you really just kind of have to trust your gear. I know you hear that a lot, but in all reality, that's just what it is. So I wrap my legs around the tree. Then I go ahead and remove my stick. I go around this limb. There's a little tight spot too. Then you go as high as you can without going over your ropes. Reset your stick and climb again. As you get up here, go ahead and loosen your rope. Move it as high as you can. take some slack out. And then whenever you decide that you're at hunting height, kind of all you have to do is pull out whatever your gear attachment system is. Mine is the Hiss strap. So what I like to do is pull myself real close tight to the tree. Go ahead and put your gear attachment system on. The reason I like the Hiss strap is it's super simple. I've never had any issues with it whatsoever. It holds a lot of gear on it. It's very adjustable to any size tree. And then once you've got your gear attachment system on the tree, you can then remove your backpack. Go ahead and take your backpack. And then from there you can access your pack. As far as hanging your bow, use whatever current bow hanger you have. Go ahead and pull your bow up. I like to take my quiver, hang it right above my pack, and put it there. So then at that point, you can go ahead and knock an arrow, pull your camera gear out, do whatever you want, and essentially you're hunting. If you want to back up this device, you're supposed to do it above it. So you can do that as well. I generally don't. I like to go ahead and just tie a knot right here. And just throw that in there just to kind of get it out of your way. Go ahead and roll your rope back up, pack it away, do whatever you got to do. Okay, so let's say it's the end of the hunt. Now how do you get back down out of the tree? And you take one end and you clip it right here in this. This is the Flexi Ohm from Innovating the Outdoors. This is a very awesome piece of equipment. It's just a 3D printed thing that is locking your tether up, keeps it from sliding down the tree. It also helps retrieve your rappel rope. So I'll show you how this kind of all works here in a minute. But when you pull this, it pops it off and then wedges the rope away from the tree. Okay, so in order to go ahead and lower your bow, go ahead and take the arrow out, of course, and then you lower your bow. So then I like to swing it just a little bit at the end, just to kind of get it all the way out of my way so I don't land on it. And this is how we'll pull our rope down. We'll go ahead and get that out of the way. We'll take our rappel rope and we'll get it ready to go. This is the TX5 Kiss pouch, and I have 40 foot of Canyon Camo Elite. Go ahead and drop that to the ground. Get our bow hanger off. Put it away. Take our pack. Put it on our back. Remove our gear hanger. Go ahead and tuck it away in our dump pouch. And then from here, we're ready to rappel. Okay, so you have this rope, and you're supposed to put it behind your back, and this is your brake side, okay? So as you're rappelling, you just pull the handle, let some out. Once you get down in front of your stick, go ahead and retrieve it. I like to go ahead and just pack everything up right here. Just makes it a lot easier. Roll it up in the pack and play. So this aider is the Ultimator from Ultimator, and I have it with the pack and play. So this roll-up pouch piece at the bottom, that's the pack and play. So that's what keeps it all nice and neat and packed away. Disengage the stick, move it from the tree. And then also on my stick, I have this TX5 quick draw hanger, and I attach right here on my saddle. And that way I'm completely hands-free. Once you've gotten back down to the ground, I go ahead and I just take my stick off of my saddle. I remove my backpack, and then I disconnect my carabiner from my bridge. I go ahead and I take my Mad Rock off of my rope. And now, because this rope is free and clear at the end with no knot, I can go ahead and just pull it down out of the tree. So I take that bow rope that I dropped my bow down with, it's flipped up on that little Flexiome up there, and I just pull it. And I've got a better video on how to retrieve your rappel rope. I'll go ahead and put a link to that. Just pull. Pull your rope down. That's how you one stick up a tree. I go ahead and I pack up both my ropes, and I just put everything back the way it was right as I got to the base of the tree. So that way, the next time you get to a tree, all you got to do is climb. Leave about 8 foot of rope on the ground. Go ahead and I'll figure 8 this. I'll do one wrap just to keep it nice and tight. And I'll go ahead and I'll shove it down in my kiss pouch. Pull up the end of the rope, and then I'll reattach my Mad Rock. Go ahead and bundle this up in just such a way that it's not going to get completely tangled when I go to pull it out. Shove everything back down in my kiss pouch. And all my ropes are ready to go. And other than that, all I've got on the ground is my backpack, my stick, and my bow. So I take my stick, reattach it to my backpack. Put my backpack on. Pick up my bow and walk away. So if you're looking for a minimalistic hunting system, this is definitely what it is. This is definitely the one for you. You can go ultra crazy and carry everything but the kitchen sink into the woods. It's absolutely not necessary. As you can tell, this is exactly how I walk into the woods. I hope that this video was descriptive enough and had enough footage in it that it kind of gives you a really good idea of what it's like to one stick up a tree. As you can tell, I'm not sweating, I'm not out of breath. There's not a whole lot of physical exhaustion that goes into this. At the end of the day, climbing a tree is the same no matter what kind of, the physical act of pulling yourself up a tree is the same no matter what technique you're using, whether it's 1 stick, 4 sticks, SRT, DRT, anything like that. If you got any questions, go ahead and put them below. Hopefully I can answer them for you. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching.